1 year ago on September 6, 26-year-old Turkish-American Aysenur Ezgi Eygi was killed by Israeli forces in Palestine's occupied West Bank. Aysenur Ezgi, together with other international volunteers, joined a weekly protest against illegal Israeli settlement expansion.
The people that live there were protesting against the theft of the land. It was a Friday as well, so they would have prayed Jummah before. So the protest began. It started off peaceful, and then, as is common, the Israeli military started to fire tear gas and even, I think, rubber bullets and things like this. There was some kind of, aggravation. Aysenur had told me over the phone before that, because this was her first protest, she wanted to stay, at a distance, be an observer, and more like document and record what's happening. She had retreated back to an olive grove that was quite a distance from the protest. There was only 2 shots fired, both by the Israeli military, by a soldier that was on top of the roof of a Palestinian home 200 yards away from Aysenur.
After the shots rang out, Aysenur Ezgi Eygi fell to the ground with a gunshot wound to the head. She was confirmed dead at the Rafidia Surgical Hospital in Nablus.
She was a beautiful person. I mean, I'm biased, but I think most people would agree. She was just a light, as people say, this person that brings light into the room, and everyone is drawn to her energy.
Aysenur Ezgi Eygi was born in Antalya, Turkey on July 27, 1998. She grew up in Seattle after her family moved to the United States when she was less than a year old. She attended West Seattle High School, where her activism was evident from a very young age. She majored in psychology and minored in Middle Eastern languages and cultures at the University of Washington. She became deeply involved in pro-Palestinian activism on campus. She joined the Faza movement, which defends Palestinian farmers facing violence from the Israeli military and illegal Jewish settlers. She was also active in the Palestinian-led International Solidarity Movement, ISM. On September 3, 2024, she traveled with the ISM to Palestine's occupied West Bank. She attended the weekly protest held in Beita against illegal Israeli settlement expansion.
Aysenur just felt that deeply, that this is an injustice that's happening. I think the way she thought about it was that it's hard for me to live a normal life while this is happening, and I feel like I can do something about it. She knew the reality of the situation, that she was entering an occupied territory. She knew the history of the IDF.
Since March 2020, 17 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli forces while attending the protest. She was the 3rd U.S. citizen to be shot dead by Israeli forces in Palestine's occupied West Bank in 2024. Initially, the IOF claimed its troops had fired toward a main instigator of violent activity, but countless eyewitness testimonies say the soldiers were under no threat and that Eygi was just standing peacefully the moment she was shot.
And Aysenur was slightly behind me to the right in the olive trees. We were fully visible by the army. We were just standing and not doing anything.
She was lying here. I put my hand behind her back to try and stop the bleeding, which didn't stop. I looked up and saw a direct line of sight from where the soldiers were.
On September 10, 2024, Israel claimed that Eygi was likely unintentionally shot by its forces.
We heard then President Biden say that he was questioned about Aysenur, and he very casually and said, yeah, we think it was a ricochet that killed her.
Apparently it was an accident, ricocheted off the ground, and it got hit by accident. I'm working that out now.
And this is a president of the United States essentially endorsing a claim that's been unsubstantiated claim so early on, without even a sense of caution and maybe even hesitation.
Eygi's body was repatriated to Turkey and buried in her hometown Didim on September 14 in a ceremony attended by Turkish officials. In a speech the day after her killing, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan described Israel's actions against her and Palestinian civilians as barbaric.
Dün gencecik bir evladımızı Aysenur Ezgi Eygi'yi alçakça katlettiler. Çocuk, kadın, genç, yaşlı demeden barbarca saldırıyorlar.
An official statement by the Turkish Foreign Ministry stated that Turkey condemns this murder committed by the Netanyahu government. Many took to the streets across the US, Turkey, and the occupied West Bank to protest Eygi's murder, demanding justice and accountability from Israel. But now, 1 year on, her family is still no closer to achieving justice.
The same day Aysenur was killed, there was a 12-year-old girl, Bana, who was also shot. You know, justice or accountability for Aysenur, even if we were to achieve some sort of version of that, would still feel extremely incomplete and hollow if there isn't justice and accountability for Bana or the other thousands and thousands of Palestinians who have been killed in Gaza and the other, Palestinians in the West Bank who have been killed or harmed or displaced by illegal settlers and that are aided by the Israeli military. I mean, the best I can hope for that comes out of her death or her killing is that it's another straw on the camel's back. Like, this is something that will add to the crimes that Israel has committed that eventually one day will open the dam and the world will finally say enough is enough.